Good morning, church. I hope you're doing well. I hope that last night, Wednesday evening, you were able to tune into Brother Josh's Bible study in the book of John. Or if you're a student, I hope you were able to see our Bible study in Mark 10 as we looked at the blind man Bartimaeus being healed by Jesus. But for our reading today on this Thursday morning, we're in a new book. We've kind of been looking at David and Solomon and the building of the temple and all that goes with that, and then some Psalms and some Proverbs. But today, we are starting the book of Ecclesiastes. Today, our reading is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now, Ecclesiastes is a book that is really difficult to understand in some places. There's a lot of wordiness in Ecclesiastes, but there's also a lot of wisdom in Ecclesiastes. And we believe that the author of Ecclesiastes is Solomon, as he, in the very first verse, says that he is the son of David. He is the king of Israel. And there's a word, depending on your translation, there's a word in here that refers to him as the preacher. And some people use this to say that it wasn't Solomon who wrote this. But this word that's often translated for preacher is koholeth in Hebrew. And it's often just means teacher or one who speaks before a crowd. It could mean preacher. But in this instance, we really believe that Solomon is the author of Ecclesiastes. And throughout Ecclesiastes, there's this ongoing theme of vanity and of meaningless. He says, vanity, vanity, everything is vanity. Everything under the sun is meaningless, is vanity. And as we really dig into Ecclesiastes 1 and 2, we're going to continue to see him talk about you can work from sunup to sundown and it be meaningless. It add up to nothing. You can spend all of your time and energy trying to gain wisdom and to gain knowledge, and it may end up in nothing. Solomon even talks about in chapter 2 that he tried to pleasure himself. He tried wine for pleasure. He tried having all the riches in the world, all the gold and all the silver and all the cattle and all the land in the world. And he tried all of these things, and that simply it was meaningless. And so, if all these things are meaningless, if putting our effort into something that adds up to nothing is meaningless, then what is meaningful in our lives? Luckily, this morning I have the answer for you, and that is following Jesus. That we can spend so much of our time and our money and our energy and our resources, everything we have, and we can spend them in all these different places. But if we are not using them to bless the Lord, to praise the Lord, to walk with the Lord, to further his kingdom, then we can find ourselves, just as Solomon is saying, in vanity. We can find ourselves toiling from sunup to sundown over nothing. And so I hope as you read this today that you are encouraged, that you see the meaningfulness of following the Lord and working for the Lord, and that you really see how the things of this world, how the things of this life, or as Solomon would say, things under the sun, how they really pale in comparison to knowing and trusting and following Jesus. So I hope that encourages you today. I hope that the Lord reveals even more to you in this passage. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow morning.